Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
Like I do wrist
Yeah, you
crap
do.
all the time.
Yes, you do.
And I don't even know how I'm still here.
Like,
it blows me away. Like, how am I not dead yet?
I'm not the person who I'm not the person who lives in fear,
Yeah.
but also I don't like leaving my house
There
at
you
this
go.
point. I'm like, because it's not even what am I going to do? It's what is everybody else
Everybody
going
else
to
is
do?
gonna do. Well, when I do my sewer, the tunnels
Yeah.
vibes, yeah, my wife's always like freaking out. And I'm like, there's no one down there. Like, the craziest person is me down there in the first place. Like, no one, but like, you can tell the graffiti ends, and that's the bravest person. Like, the last one's the
I
bravest
mean, you're like
dude.
10 more feet.
And you keep going you go 10 more feet, it's dead, nothing. There's only construction paint, where they put it up originally.
Why do you do those? Tell the people. Why do you do that? Why do you do crazy things?
I just like it. I'm a
Like the thrill? Are you like a jump out
I
of
never
an
thought
airplane?
I don't
Are
like
you
heights. That's my no.
Okay, so you
like
go
heights.
underground.
I'll go underground.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't water too. So like the car crashing in the river would be a nightmare for me because I can swim. I'm not a bad swimmer. I love the ocean. I like swimming, but like the idea of drowning is like
Yeah.
that's horrible.
What an
That's-
awful way to go.
That's an awful way to go. But yeah, I because I'm usually plausible too about what's the risk involved. So I'm like, if it's a person, it's so quiet down there that I would hear someone. It's like dead quiet. So if you hear, oh, and someone running at me, I would hear it immediately.
Yeah, but
like
then what?
several feet. I'd run the hell out of there. Like,
But you don't know what's that way because
I
no
go
one
back
is...
where I came, or like,
Ugh.
and well, some of them are big enough where like they're about the size of this room, the width. So I could just like literally run in a circle away from them.
Do you do research to find them?
No.
You just go out and see what you find.
Yeah, sometimes I go out like at night because I was working night shifts.
Why?
So I would go like at 2 a.m.
Man.
because everyone's asleep. There's no one out there. No one is like in their house. Even like homeless people are normal people generally because I've talked to a lot of them. So they're like, there's people who are schizophrenic and stuff. Sometimes I worry about that in case they're like violent and they can't control themselves. But usually no one's down. It's so, and where my house is on the north side over there, Stone Oak, there's not a lot of people. So when I go driving, like I find like far off locations. The most recent one I did last weekend, that one had actual, like it was close to people. It was trafficked areas. So I was like more nervous there because I was like, and I'd seen a good number of homeless people. So I was like, okay, this is kind of scarier because there could be someone down here with a knife or something. But the other ones I go to, there's the only thing I would probably run into are raccoons, and that's it.
Why? Why do you do this? What do you get out of it? Like the thrill of it?
It's thrilling. I love the silence of it. It's like finding temples. It's like I like I'm always fascinated with like hidden places in the world. Like I love the mundane. I love average shit. Like I like an alleyway that just has like that Norman Rockwell look to it. Like I had one in my old neighborhood that me and my son would go over there, and it was just so quiet and peaceful in the way it looked. It had this aesthetic. I was like, oh, it's like a magic world here that no one knows about because no one would go back there,
Right.
except for the people who lived right in those houses. So I was like, this is awesome. Like I like that, like hidden places that people kind of forget that are right there. Because like that one last weekend, there's like these huge, nice houses, and I was just under all of it, like through all these tunnels. And it's like, you don't even know. There's some kid up there playing Xbox, has no idea that like what he's playing in a game exists literally underneath his feet the entire time.
I love when I see stuff that you post where it's like covered in graffiti, like, and this is all stuff that people aren't normally going
I don't
to
know.
see, but the fact that
Yeah.
like someone went down there to
That's got to see
create
it.
that,
Yeah.
like
That's
you're
what's-
sort of like, oh, it's my own little private art gallery.
is, it
That's kind of
is.
cool. Okay, now I'm kind of on board.
It's pretty cool. I've taken a couple of people. I'm like, it's not what you like. I had my friend, we went there at night, like 1 o'clock, turned off the lights, and I was like,
No.
and it was silent, like in a cavern, like it was dead quiet. And I was like, isn't this really peaceful? He's like, actually is pretty peaceful. I'm like, when you realize there's no one here, it's just us.
Right.
You're not, when you let go of that fear of something horrible is going to happen, you're like, this is really peaceful. Like I could go down there and read a book. Like I understand why dudes graffiti down there. They probably take their lights, set it up, do their thing, because they have big pieces down there. So it's like they're down there for like a minute. So they set up their little site, do their painting, and it's so quiet and no one's down there. And I'm like, yeah, that's why they come down here.
Well, maybe I should do my
It's
show
like
from
a
there. It's
little
probably a lot
gallery.
quieter than here.
It
Your own
probably-
little private studio.
I would love to do like a rave down there. I would love to do something like that. That would be awesome. Like a concert, get some dudes in a band and have them play down there. No one would hear you. No one
That's
would see
true.
you. You could just one by one file in at night. No one knows. They can't find you.
Don't they have those where they have like the secret, like I think I read about it. Someone was doing it here in San Antonio where they have like secret concerts and you don't know until like 4 hours before, and then suddenly you get an email that's like, be here.
Yeah, I saw they got one time they got stopped. They did under a bridge in the city.
That's what you could do.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
But no cops are gonna go down that.
But no one's
tunnel.
gonna go down there. No one
Right.
would know you're there. Like a lot of them, no one. Like my wife worries about that more because she's like, if something happens,
Well, that's true.
where the hell are we gonna find you? Because then
Yeah.
I can't get cell service too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get cell service, and it's bizarre that I get cell service because I'm like, dude, I'm freaking deep. This is all concrete. How's anyone like? How could my phone?
It
work?
makes me nervous. I would do one on like a sunny
I go on Sunday days,
Saturday
too.
afternoon.
But those I think are like daytimes are scarier. I think because there's could be people.
Well, that's true.
Everyone's awake.
Yeah.
Everyone's awake at times, but like other than that, like at nighttime, like even homeless people are sleeping usually. No one sleeps down there. I'm like, this would be a horrible place to sleep though, because like if it rains or something happens, like you're gonna get washed out.
Yeah.
I don't go into sewers. I go into storm drains because storm drains
It's very particular.
are
About,
only yeah, sewers because they have chemicals. They'll have
Yeah.
like ammonia gases, and you can't smell it sometimes, so you can just die and not know it. And here it's just literally whatever's the runoff from the street. That's probably the most toxic thing from car stuff. But it's like usually freakishly clean. Like I've been in there a lot. I've been through so many, and only one was actually filthy just because there's a colony of cats, which was cool. I was like, awesome, there's cats down here.
Are you writing about it?
I have wrote like 2 underground stories before
Yeah.
in these books. Yeah, my horror.
Can we talk
books.
about these? Ben's been on the show before a couple of years ago now, I think.
Yeah, right. Was it a couple of years ago? Like
Probably-
2 years ago?
Yeah. Well, it was before
COVID.
Yeah. So yes, because that's when we stopped filming at Candlelight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go and watch those old. Let's see, young Ben and I sitting at a coffee shop chatting with each other. But
And
tell
more
everybody.
merry age.
Yeah.
Things
Yes.
are nicer.
Yes. But now I'm here. It's a little bit quieter. So tell everybody about your books.
Those 2 are like companion pieces. I split them up when I was writing them. There are a bunch of horror short stories, random, like there's some that are just about serial killers. A lot of them are like cosmic horror, like Cthulhu, big, like Pennywise, it kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Different ways I wrote them, I experimented. So I have like first person, third person, second person, which is weird. So I like those. That's what those are. And they're actually all connected into the same kind of universe. And those are my sketchbooks that I've been drawing because I think you've seen them online. My art
Do
pictures.
you want to show some of these? I don't want to. I feel like that's.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, they're filled. I have another one that I didn't bring because it's not filled yet.
How often do you draw?
I
just am so.
mostly like twice a week. Sometimes,
Really?
sometimes 3 times.
Do you force yourself, or is it like you have an
I-
idea and you're like, I need to?
Both.
Yeah.
So like it's like a spell book kind of like bestiary thing of monsters, like a D&D monster manual kind of
Mhm.
thing with like made up spells and things that goes with all of this. And for this book, so like I have like hundreds of monsters that I have to draw. I think so far I've drawn like these are 90 pages each book, and there's 3 of them so far that are the other ones all like halfway filled.
Wow.
So it's a lot. So
It's like
yeah,
in
I
the Wizard
just-
of Oz, where every Munchkin in the Wizard of Oz has a different outfit.
Yes.
Like that's what you
I
have
drew
to do.
every little outfit for all of
Yes.
them, but it's like they're like completely
right.
unique.
These aren't
Like this is
just-
a wolf on a weird taper elephant eat monster thing.
How long does that take?
An hour?
That's it?
Yeah, not long. Not long. I come up with the idea. The longest part is the ideas of like if I don't have a solid one, because I just wrote names and I knew what I kind of wanted, but I don't have like what is it gonna look like. So I'll draw ideas. Like I have some in here where I'm like, oh, I didn't like the way that looked, and I redrew it. I think that's a perfect example right here. Is it? Yeah, see, like I tried to draw this guy.
Here, show the camera too.
And then this little, it's ugly. It's incomplete, as you can see.
I mean, I don't think he's supposed to be pretty, is he?
No, but we'll wait till you see the next version of it. So that's incomplete. I didn't like it. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Better.
Wow.
Infinitely better.
I love that you keep them even if you don't like them. That you like,
yeah, I keep them.
That's so cool.
It's always there for one day if there's a museum.
Yeah, seriously. It's like I like. Do you like do it and then like give yourself time to be like, okay, I'm gonna go back and look at it, and then you still don't like it?
Sometimes that one I stopped while I was doing it. Usually I'll push myself because like it doesn't look good when you're starting. Sometimes like it's incomplete.
Yeah.
And if I'm like keep going, once you do the shading and all that and touch it up, it'll pop. And sometimes that works. Like I'll do it. I'm like, oh yeah, this did come out really well. Other times I'll sketch it, and like that one, I looked at it and I was like, usually like him, it was the scale. He was too tiny. I was like, I got all this space to work with. Why am I making him so small? So I made him bigger, and that one, it looks infinitely better.
Have you always been creative and artistic and writing and drawing? And
yeah,
do you do instruments, or is this like
I learned some guitar. I learned some guitar. I was like in a kind of a band back in Washington when I was in the Army. We had a band, so I sang like in Iraq as a front man for our band of Death Solar, which was fun. We did covers and stuff. So I can sing. My wife insists that I should be an actor. She like insists constantly.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I would watch you. She's like, you're like Jack Black. Your personality is exactly like his. Like you sing randomly. You're doing voices constantly. Because I walk around, like my daughter in the house is like doing plays too. She's artistic like me, and she had to do a British accent. So I was like teaching her like how to do it because I can do it. So I was like, hello, mate. Let's go out to the pub and have us a drink, and like, like doing different voices. Hello, cheerio. We're going down to a party. Like doing all kinds of little voices to help her get used to it because she was doing Mary Poppins,
of course.
So she had to learn the English accent.
I love like you are such a juxtaposition of like your personality and who you are like as a person. It's like fun, funny. Like, and then this is where you like, like if you read this and you don't know, you're like, what a crazy psychopath. Like,
I've gotten that
person?
too. People are like, this is pretty crazy.
Are you okay?
Like,
yeah.
Where did you come up with some of this crazy stuff? Yeah, I don't know.
Has it always been like crazy, dark stuff like this?
Yes.
Or were you the Mary Poppins kid?
I was always that on the outside, but then like in church, I grew up in a really religious house. So in church, I would be drawing demons, and my dad would lose his mind. He would be like, put that away, stop drawing that stuff. And I was like drawing vampires. Like I have like my mom still has them. Like I have pictures of like dinosaurs ripping dudes apart and stuff like that, which is weird because my parents didn't let me watch that stuff. I could watch like Jurassic Park or Predator or Terminator, things like that my dad liked because he was an action 80s guy. But like I didn't watch a lot of horror at all, like Hellraiser or Chucky. That was like a no-no in our house. And so it was weird that I was like
create your own
coming up with it. Yeah, I was just making it up from like what I might see at the Blockbuster. Like I'd see a cover and I'm like, ooh. And then my mom, I didn't know what the movie was. I couldn't watch it. So I was just like, imagine what it was. Or friends at school who had seen it would tell me. And I was just put it in my head what I thought it was, what they were telling me, you know?
That's so interesting.
And that's why I guess it turned out like that. Yeah.
Wow.
I've always been that way though. I would literally fail classes because I was drawing and writing constantly.
Do you have is anybody else in your family creative or an artistic?
My brother, my little brother's the same way. He's he follows it less so than I do, but he is. I wish he would do it more. I wish he would engage it more because he is very creative, very smart. He got his English degree from Texas State too. He wants to write and stuff like that, but he just never I don't know why he never pushes himself for that. It's always a mystery because I'm like, dude, I read his stuff before and he's really good. So I'm like, you should really follow through with it. But he never does. But he is equally creative.
Bring him next time and then we'll just force him in the chair.
I will. He's up in Washington. He lives in Washington.
We'll do a virtual interview.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, you could do like tours. You could sell tickets to tours of your underground.
I tried to charge some people. Only people I didn't charge are my really close friends that like come to my house and we're just hanging out and then we're drinking and I'm like,
wait a minute,
let's go down here. It's like just like 5 minutes away in the car. Let's go drive over there. Usually I ride my bike, which is worse because when I ride my bike and I go into tunnels, I'm riding my bike and I'm exhausted already because I'm looking sometimes. I can't find anything and I'm going up and down hills. So by the time I get to a tunnel and it's cramped and I have to crawl, my thighs are so on fire that I'm just like I can barely move. And then I'm like, keep going, Ben, keep going, push further. And I'll push further. And then I sit and remember like, dude, you have to go back and your legs are in this much. And then you have to get back on the bike.
Do you bring snacks and water and things?
Yeah, I bring stuff like that. Yeah. Water for sure. I always bring water. I always worry like a cave in, which I doubt would ever happen because it's like solid concrete. It's not like old rubble or caves or a mine. That's I would worry about more in those places. But when it's like a storm drain, it's like they're pretty solid built. So
built for that.
But in case, I take knives too in case something.
I don't know if I fully am on board with this idea of yours.
It sounds crazy. It's fun.
It is crazy. It's not crazy. What are you working on now? What's happening this year in 2022 for you?
I didn't bring the other two books because I don't have copies. But my first book, The Hound of Van Town, and its follow-up, Hello Defiant, I'm finishing the third book for it, the trilogy book.
I feel like I have them.
I think I gave you them.
They have to be here somewhere.
I gave you one and your musical guest last time, Josh.
How's it not up there?
Saunders the Man. I gave him one.
Yeah. It has to be up there. I don't
somewhere.
Anyway.
But I'm finishing that in the trilogy. It wraps up the whole Scout story. That's like my Mowgli story and stuff for him. So like that, and it's like that one's longer. I think that one so far is like 600 pages or something like that. So I've been revising, rewriting stuff because it's my final one and the closing for his story. So I want it to be really, really good. So I've been working on that. I'm almost done. It'll come out this year. And then these I'm really pushing for this year, for like the end of the year that this will be out. Because I'm actually like 120 pages into them. And I finished almost all of the big god monsters. Like the most, like there's a hierarchy. The most like the Zeuses to like the little goblin guys and stuff like that. So I've drawn all the big monsters, all the big gods in it, and then I have like all the little minor character ones that I have to finish up.
To be in your head for like 10 minutes and see what's circling around in there when you're doing this stuff, I would love to do that.
I laughed when Charlie Sheen said that. He's like, get in my head. In that interview, this famous interview where he's winning, he's like, get in my head. You couldn't handle it. And I'm like laughing at him. I'm like, yeah, yours is assisted by drugs. Yeah. This is just religious repression and being a natural lunatic.
Yeah.
I had to assist this at all. It's just always like this.
Is there like pressure or stress probably from yourself to like to write and to get these finished and to make sure they're the best, or are you still enjoying that process?
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So no, there's literally the pressure is the world of like conform into normalness, especially in Texas where like it's not a creative, you know it because you get to interview and see all of it. And I've only recently been more exposed to it since college. But like generally people here just work normal jobs and don't it's not LA. I lived in LA. That place is like the mecca of like creativity where you're like, oh, these giant houses people live in was literally funded by imagination. Yeah. Which is insane when you think about it. Like how oil field houses out here, you'll see like, oh, they have a big house because their property has oil and they've been like, we're like, whoa. I'm like, no, in LA, it's just music, art, and movies. Like that's the thing that fuels that entire economy. And it's insane. You've never seen it. But once you see it, you go, oh, that's a plausible reality to follow. So that's the only thing that pressures me because like this is like a infinite well of, I have like 11 books planned still.
How do you organize them? Are they all like, some people like cover their walls and things. I've talked to authors who like office walls are covered in Post-it notes and index cards. And
I have notes, but in books, like in these like journals, my computer, my phone a lot, because you get those late night ideas that are like gold. Let's do that chef's kiss, that golden, like, oh my God, this is like fantastic stuff. So I'll lay there at night and be like, oh, great idea. And so I have notes, like tons of notes, especially for The Hermit and that novel that I'm finishing. I would come up with like great ideas at night and then write almost like on the little notes app on your iPhone.
You have like chapters in there?
Chapters of like notes of just long, because I plan it. I have writer friends who like just wing it. My friend Robert Cano, he wings stuff. I'm like, I can't. Like, I plan it. It will change as I go through it. Characters that I didn't think were going to be a big deal, I end up liking and writing more into it. But other than that, no, I pretty much know where they're all going. Like, I have 4 planned out future books. So when I'm done with these 2 projects, I'll have the next 2 to go on to the juggle. And then after those 2, I'll immediately have the next 2. And while I'm doing all this, the other ones start growing and starting to fruit, and I come up with the ideas. So it doesn't stop. That's the problem.
Where can people get the books? And I think that's a great problem to have.
Yeah, it is a great problem. I'm like, that's the one thing I don't worry about. Am I creative enough? Yep, I am.
Check.
Fine.
Yes.
You can get those you can visit C Ross Pub, which C like the ocean. So crosspub.com. It has the store. It'll link you automatically to Amazon, but you can find them I find them in weird places. Like they're in bookstores in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, it's super bizarre. Yeah. Once you put things on the internet, like,
yeah, I suppose
they can go anywhere. Like, so I'll find some on like libraries in other countries.
Oh, that's
too.
cool.
Super crazy. Yeah. But Barnes and Nobles, you can order online. They won't put it in the store, but you can order online. And other stores online, they have it usually. So.
And you'll come back when the other books are released.
Oh my God. Yes, I hope so.
Okay.
You have me back?
Yeah, we'll save the seat.
Yeah. I'll tag my name like the graffiti dudes down there in the tunnels.
Yeah, it'll be like a parking spot. Like,
yeah, this is Ben's chair now.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it's worn out, I'll take it.
But
put it in my garage.
yes, ittle be part of the museum again.
It'll be part of the museum.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for being here.
Dude, I love it, man.
Ben Longoria, everyone. We'll be right back after this.
Medical professionals are burning out at an alarming rate. Burnout can cause health workers to feel hopeless, trapped, helpless, worthless, depressed, sleepless, and tired. By joining the Hearts Need Art Gratitude Grams program, medical staff receive a personalized email and video from a musician, an artist, or writer once a week that includes a message of thanks, an encouraging song, uplifting poem, or a simple art activity. After watching their gratitude gram, participants report feeling more hopeful, empowered, energized, and appreciated. If you are or know a healthcare worker that would like to receive free gratitude grams, please visit heartsneedart.org.
Wouldn't it be great if your business could have a commercial on TV? Now it can. Secure your Season 5 sponsorship by visiting richardwilmore.com. Advertise on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV by sponsoring The Richard Wilmore Show. Become a sponsor today. Go to richardwilmore.com now.
It's the Richard Wilmore Show.